Welcome back to Tijuana, Mexico. It's the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Erik Morales will defend the title against John Lowey. Bob Papa and Al Bernstein back in Tijuana, Mexico. Erik Morales, at 21 years of age, is undefeated. And Morales is one of the young, bright stars in boxing. 27-0. Morales coming off a tremendous win. He has 21 knockouts after 118 amateur bouts. His father didn't even want him to become a pro boxer, but he excelled so well that now he is a world champion. Well, Erik Morales has the world championship. What an impressive effort against Zaragoza, from landing, jabbing, power shots, everything.
He did everything. He landed 49% of his punches, and equally as impressively, made Zaragoza land only 30% of his punches. That's something against the 39-year-old Zaragoza, who has always been a very accurate puncher.
Okay, what about making your first title defense in your hometown? How much pressure on his shoulders? You know,
it's interesting. Different men react differently. Some people come out so fired up because of the feeling in the crowd that they actually get out of their game plan. I don't know that that would happen for Morales, but that young man, as you see coming in, has a whole different set of problems, doesn't he?
Yeah, John Lowey, 25-1. Al, he's from Ireland. He has 18 knockouts, but does he really have the power?
You know, the interesting thing is, with all those knockouts, and many of them coming early in fights, the quality of competition that he's faced is nowhere close to what he's facing tonight. And that man, Erik Morales, get ready for a sonic boom when he gets into this room.
Well, he has yet to appear to the crowd as he's about to come out of the runway to our left. John Lowey, the 31-year-old from Ireland, is in the ring. Lowey fighting out of Chicago, and Erik Morales, well, some fireworks are being set off, and here comes the WBC Super Bantamweight Champion, Erik Morales. The crowd soaking it up here in Tijuana, Mexico. What about the power of Morales, Al? 15 of his 21 knockouts have come within the first 3 rounds.
He is a very powerful fighter, and the most important thing, Bob, is he's a very aggressive fighter. He constantly puts pressure on you, and in Lowey's case, he's going to have to deal with the fact that he's going to get 3 minutes of pressure in every single round. Ultimately, that's what made Zaragoza wilt.
If you're John Lowey, what is your game plan early?
You better make sure that you don't get hit with something big. You better control the early rounds and use your jab against Morales.
Well, Erik Morales and John Lowey are getting set for tonight's main event. The WBC Super Bantamweight Championship is at stake. We send it up to our ring announcer, Danny Valdivia.
Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, ESPN, and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, present the ESPN Championship Boxing main event of the evening. Super Bantamweights, 12 rounds for the Super Bantamweight Championship of the world. This championship bout has been sanctioned by La Comisión de Box y Lucha Libre de Tijuana, Ramón Espinosa, chairman, and the World Boxing Council, José Sulaimán, president. Supervising at ringside and representing the WBC from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Ramón Espinosa. From Mexico, Distrito Federal, Demetrio Vallado. Judging at ringside from Sacramento, California, Hank Ellis Puro. From Curaçao in the Netherlands Antilles, Harold Lawrence. From La Paz, Baja California Sur, Guillermo Ayon. And our referee in charge from Dallas, Texas, Lawrence Cole. In the red corner, the challenger wearing green and white trunks with a professional record of 25 wins, 1 loss, 18 wins by knockout at 119.5 pounds. From County Down, Ireland, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, John, the Quiet Man, Lowey. And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing black trunks, he's undefeated in 27 professional fights, 21 of his wins by knockout. He weighed in at 120 pounds, from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, the WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Erik El Terrible Morales.
We are getting set for tonight's championship bout as Erik Morales takes off the robe. Let's take a look at the rules as governed by the WBC.
So, fight clean, play limpia.
No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. You can only be saved by the bell in the final round. Only the referee may stop the bout. If there's an accidental foul, they'll go to the scorecards after 4 rounds. Prior to that, there's a technical draw. There's one glitch in the WBC rules. If there's an accidental foul and there's a clash of heads, if you cause the clash of heads in the cut, you will have a point deducted. As Erik Morales says a prayer before he gets ready to make his first defense. And the referee is Lawrence Cole from Dallas, Texas. And he's sort of a Morales good luck charm. He was the referee when Morales beat Daniel Zaragoza in Texas in September. And wow, there goes Lowey right across the ring, and he takes it right to the champion.
And I'll tell you what, that was perfectly legal, and Morales had barely turned around. Wow.
Wow, Lowey running a 4.240. The ring only 18 feet by 18 feet.
What did I say about Lowey making sure he didn't get hurt in the first round? How about the fact that he's going out to hurt the champion in the first round? Wow.
Lowey has 10 knockouts in the first 2 rounds.
You see the knockout ratio, and it's a good one. Great for Morales, good for Lowey also. Clearly, Lowey thinks of himself as a puncher, and I talked about the fact that many of his wins hadn't come against spectacular boxers, so was his power for real? But the point is, he definitely believes he's a puncher, and if he believes he's a puncher, he's going to act like one.
Morales, who is 10 years younger than Lowey, has more rounds as a professional under his belt. 27 more pro rounds, 1 more bout.
Morales now settling down a little bit.
Well, the quiet man came out and made a loud statement, John Lowey.
Did he ever? And he continues to be aggressive.
Watch your elbow, push it up, all right? But.
And Erik Morales has a look on his face like, wow, what happened here? Although I would caution everyone when they think of that look, Morales is a patient fighter. He's aggressive but patient, so he's not the kind of guy that belies a lot of emotion. But he's getting hit with left hooks, and I mean he's getting hit with some good left hooks by Lowey.
Lowey now fighting out of the Chicago area from Ireland.
He fought his first 13 fights, 11 of them in Ireland, 2 in England, and of his last 13, 11 of those have been fought in the Chicago area.
Well, we wondered about Lowey having ring rust coming off a 187-day layoff. And there was one, but there's Morales with a good right hand.
Well, after a blazing start by Lowey, Morales says it's my turn. But one thing you have to like about what John Lowey is doing, he's using the jab to set up these power punches, and then he is not afraid to throw those power punches.
Final 15 seconds of this first round. It's been action-packed. Challenger John Lowey taking it right to the champion, Erik Morales.
No matter what happens in this bout, a gutsy first round for John Lowey.
And there's the bell to end round 1. John Lowey in a hostile environment in Tijuana, taking it right to the champion, Erik Morales.
Settle down, relax. Just you settle down. Keep boxing for me.
Let's take a look at the opening bell.
Now, you see Morales still deep in prayer. Lowey just waiting, can't wait. Now the bell sounds, and boom, he's over there and lands a left hook before you can say Daniel Zaragoza.
Fortunately for Morales, Lowey did not land a really good clean shot. Morales was turning. We asked John Lowey, fighting in this hostile environment of Tijuana, Mexico, against Erik Morales, what his expectations were coming into the bout tonight.
Oh, I am here to take the title back to Ireland. I'm not going to be laid back. I'm going to go in and let him show him who's boss, because I'm here to take it. Wayne McCulloch was unable to achieve this in January of this year. Well, hopefully John Lowey's going to do it in December. Erik Morales still lives at home with his parents. He has no responsibility. My responsibility is to my wife and my 3 kids who are still back in Ireland. And that's why I'm here, determined to lift this belt and take it back to them.
Very impressive, and John Lowey is a man of his word, because he did come out in the first round to try and show Morales who was boss.
Take a look at the numbers in round number 1.
Well, Morales may have ended up with more punches landed, but I gave Lowey the round primarily because of the number he threw, and I thought he overall dictated the tempo of that round.
Lowey referring to Wayne McCulloch, another Irishman now fighting out of the Boston area, who took on Daniel Zaragoza in January and lost.
And by the way, should Morales win here tonight, there is much talk that McCulloch would be his next opponent. So
what if Lowey won? Would he fight McCulloch?
That would be very intriguing. You think that fight could make some money in Ireland? Possibly. By the time Erik Morales is through with the year, should he win tonight, he'll be talking with a brogue.
What about him needling Morales?
I thought that was fascinating, talking about Erik living at home and how maybe the world's responsibilities hadn't caught up with him yet. I love that, though. You know what? I love what John Lowey's doing. He's doing everything he can to show that he's not intimidated. Even that move, which was a little illegal, but just kind of bullying Morales around.
And also anything to distract Morales from using his technique. And there's Morales looking up the combination.
And you know, as I'm sitting here watching this, I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to beat Erik Morales, you know what? You're going to have to pressure him, because he thrives on his own pressure. When he can come forward and push you back, it makes Erik Morales a 50% better fighter. But when he has to go back, he's not used to it.
Chance of Erik.
And because of that, the plot has thickened here early in this bout. Lowey has had a longer layoff than he had now. He was off from 1991 in December to 94 of March, when he had a long layoff.
That was all part of his move from Ireland to the United States.
And getting himself situated here.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2. Erik Morales making the first defense of his WBC Super Bantamweight Championship in Tijuana against John Lowey on ESPN's Championship Boxing. Erik Morales springs out of his corner as we begin round number 3. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein in Tijuana, Mexico. Morales making the first defense of his WBC Super Bantamweight Championship against John Lowey. And we take a look at numbers from round 2.
Morales again with a very slight edge. I again gave the round to Lowey, primarily because you see he threw 13 more punches. And I thought generally dictated the tempo of that round a bit. But you see these rounds are close.
If you just tuned in, Morales was in his corner in prayer at the start of round 1. The bell sounded, and Lowey did a sprint across the ring and just attacked Morales. And that has set a tone in this bout.
For those of you that have watched boxing on ESPN many years, Terrence Ali used to do that. He sprinted across the ring at his opponents and often would gain a big advantage early by doing it.
There's one, as we take a look at Al's scorecard.
I gave both the rounds to John Lowey. Now, mind you, that may not be the way the judges saw it, because they were both pretty close rounds, but I thought he dictated the tempo.
There's one common opponent for these two boxers, Lee Cargill. Morales scored a second-round knockout against Cargill in 1996. Lowey has 2 knockout wins against Cargill, one coming in 1990 and one in 1994.
Lee is a journeyman who has fought just about everybody in the lower weight divisions. We've seen him here on ESPN. We saw him against Todd Foster. Not a bad fighter, but just not up to the caliber of these guys.
Al, is Morales getting into his rhythm, or is he still a little off?
He really isn't. He's having a hard time getting his punches in. There is a nice counter right that may have hurt Lowey. The style of Lowey is so herky-jerky, and he's been so aggressive. Oh, there's a clash of heads, and that created a cut on the left eye of Morales. Now, point will be deducted.
Accidental headbutt, accidental headbutt.
Accidental headbutt.
All right?
So the rule is 1 point will be deducted from Lowey.
Minus one.
This is the dumbest rule.
It's the worst rule in boxing. The WBC should be ashamed of itself for having this rule, and I don't know why they do. And it's an organization that I have to say has made great strides in other areas of rules in the last few years, and safety, etc. And no reason to have that rule. It's wrong. It was accidental. How do you even determine who caused it? Just because the cut turned up on Morales' eye, he could have caused the accidental clash. You never know. But that cut's in a bad spot.
Now the bout must go 4 rounds for it to go to the judges' scorecards. If it is stopped before the 4th round is completed, it will be a technical draw. And Morales will keep his title, but you're right. It's ruled accidental by a referee, and then someone loses a point over it.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Absolutely ludicrous. That's how Frankie Randall ended up losing a title match against Julio Cesar Chavez. It hurt him in that instance. And now, if you're John Lowey, you better go after Morales and try and win this round, because you've already lost a point here.
Final seconds of round number 3. Erik Morales and John Lowey on ESPN's Championship Boxing.
I'm thinking of a number. Do you know?
Cutman Miguel Diaz working on the right eyebrow of Erik Morales. A clash of heads in round number 3. An accidental headbutt, but Lowey loses a point because it was Morales who was cut.
And here's the fascinating point. Morales is the one that pushed his head in. See, this shows how absolutely ludicrous this rule is. Not that Morales is trying to butt him or cause that, but he's the one that pushed his head in. He got cut, and Lowey loses the point. That's
ludicrous. It was an accidental foul. Accidental. How do you score the round out?
I made a 10-8 for Morales because I thought he did win the round, landed more punches, and because he got the extra point, it's 10-8. And there you see how close this bout is. Lowey throwing more. And Morales landing at a little better clip.
And the heads come together again.
Come on, box.
And Morales, I think, doing a bit of an acting job there.
Nice hook by Lowey. He is doing an acting job, because I don't think John Lowey is creating this.
Now that time I believe Lowey's head was the lead in maybe the clash of heads, but now he's trying to draw sympathy.
You know what's fascinating about this bout? There you see my scoring. I had the first 2 rounds for Lowey. The interesting thing here is it's amazing how styles give people trouble. You just look at this bout now and you see it. This is not the right style for Erik Morales to shine with. It just turns out that way. And you wouldn't even know it until you saw him in the ring, even if you'd seen tapes of Lowey. It just has turned out that way.
Approaching the midway point of round 4. Remember now, every time Morales throws a punch, whether it lands or not, this crowd roars.
There is the jab by Lowey. Now, Erik has not been able to get his jab in. There's a nice right hand to the body and the head. Morales shaking his head, thinking that Lowey is again using his head to hit the cut. I grant you that they've had some heads clashing, but I don't feel like Lowey is doing it intentionally. There's Morales using the jab. Erik Morales has a very nice jab and really should be using that punch a little bit more. The 1-2 by Lowey. himself a very nice round 4 here. And getting this crowd into it finally.
Erik Morales gets a rise out of the crowd. 30 seconds to go in round 4. Best sustained action from the champion. Crowd trying to urge Morales on. Final seconds of round 4. Back with round 5 after this timeout on ESPN. Standing room only crowd in Tijuana. The Auditorium holds about 2,000. They're all here to see hometown hero Erik Morales defend his WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein. Round 5 underway between Erik Morales and John Lowey. Punches in round 4 out.
You see Morales starting to build a gap here, but still Lowey being pretty aggressive. Let's give a word of praise to Miguel Diaz, who's working cuts for Morales, and he's done a great job on closing that cut over the left eye.
And with that cut on the accidental butt that occurred in round 3, good left hand by Morales.
Erik has found a home for the counter left hook as Lowey comes in. Lowey's still trying to land the right after he throws the jab. You mentioned Morales' nickname Terrible, and you talked earlier about his dad kind of discouraging him from boxing. He got the nickname because his dad threw him in against the toughest opponents that you could be in Tijuana to try and discourage him from boxing, but he ran through all those guys. Everyone was shocked, and they called him El Terrible.
And both his father, who's in his corner, Jose, and his mother did not really want him to box. And they figured, well, we'll get an early KO on his career and he'll become a doctor or a lawyer. They wanted him to get an education, but he was so good in Tijuana that now he's a world champion. And the heads come together again. And another accidental bout. This is on the right eyebrow.
Oh, wow.
John Lowey shaking his head saying, hey, not just me. Another point.
But see, they have to do this because that's the rule.
Yeah, we're not blaming Lawrence Cole.
And here they come. Now, but see, that the interesting thing is that actually came on the other side. And for John Lowey, it's got to be frustrating. He may be using his head a little, but I don't see where he's deliberately trying to butt. He's explaining to us. He's over us here trying to explain it to us. Now that's totally accidental. You can't tell me he did that on purpose. It's just that Morales is the one that's getting cut from it. So now yet another point deducted from John Lowey's total.
Now remember, if this bout is stopped, we have completed 4 rounds. We are in the 5th round. At any point, if this bout is stopped due to these cuts, these accidental fouls, they will go to the judge's scorecard. And here comes Morales. Attacking Lowey.
Look at Morales just leaning backward. Now, Lawrence Cole's now taking another point away. I don't know. I'd have to look at that on replay. But Lawrence Cole saying that he's saying he's bobbing and weaving. And Lawrence Cole's saying, no, you're using your head.
Okay,
well,
very good.
This is hard.
I'll be anxious to see the replay on that one. Of course, Lawrence Cole doesn't have the benefit of the replay, but then he made a pretty quick decision there. And I think at this juncture, with 2 points taken away in this round, if I'm Lowey, I better stay on the outside for a while, and that's what he's doing. Nice hook landed by Lowey, though, after Morales landed a good punch.
Well, Lowey knew coming into Erik Morales' hometown that it would not be easy.
And
that is proving to be the case, both in and out of the ring. Final seconds of round 5.
Let's go.
There is Morales, and he had Lowey all tied up. Lowey moving his head from side to side, and he was cautioned. He was given a point deduction by Lawrence Cole. I'm going to tell you, I got to go along with Lowey. He was moving his head from side to side. He was not moving it forward, but Morales, by moving backwards and holding on to Lowey, really created that point deduction. I'm not saying John Lowey's been a saint in this bout, but that was a wrong move.
Punches in round 5 and what became a 10-7 round for Morales, with Lowey losing 2 points. And really, let's face it, there are 2 cuts that Morales has, one on each eye, and you can make the case that both cuts were caused by Morales leading in just as much as Lowey with his head.
They were accidental clashes of heads, and they were called that. But then, because Morales has been doing so much politicking with Lawrence Cole, the point was deducted.
Now scorecard.
Well, Morales coming now, moving out to a very big lead here because of those points being deducted. And he has started to take control of the bout from a boxing standpoint, though it has not been pretty.
Right, because you and I have given Morales each of the last 3 rounds. Points or no points deducted. We'll see how John Lowey deals with the adversity, and Erik Morales. Morales with some blood on each eyelid. Now he's scheduled for 12.
We talked about his dad, Jose, was in his corner. He was a very good boxer in the 70s. Good friends with the legendary Ruben Oliveras. And they had a little resemblance to him, so they called him Oliveritos, was his nickname as a boxer. Lowey doing some politicking of his own with Lawrence Cole. Look at Lowey. Now every time he gets in a break, he puts his hands way to his side, which is dangerous because you can get whacked that way. He doesn't want another point being deducted. What's disturbing about what has gone on here, and I'm not saying John Lowey would be doing better in this fight. They're going to take a look at the cuts, is the fact that they've taken away the aggressiveness of Lowey. Now, if this fight was stopped right now, they would go to the scorecards.
And I would think it would be a landslide for Morales.
With all the points being deducted, yes. And I don't think they'd have to go to the Electoral College to find out either.
And the doctor lets the fight continue, as you would expect.
Backwards this much ever. Oh my, big right by Lowey.
Morales looks to fight back. Final seconds of round 6, the midway point of the bout.
It all started with an overhand right by Lowey, and then all heck broke loose, to paraphrase, in the corner at the end of the round. Both men landing big shots. We were holding and hitting by Lowey. But it was a great sequence of action.
Round number 7 in the way. There have been no knockdowns.
Now, see, Morales just pulled Lowey into him, and then he cautioned Lowey for using his head. Erik Morales is a 21-year-old champion who's a terrific boxer, but as an official, he's not that good.
There are the numbers through 6 rounds.
And you see Morales building up an edge, and now even throwing more punches than Lowey, so he has started to take control of the bout. So, oh, there's an elbow by Lowey. He figured, well, I'm getting criticized for the other stuff, might as well get something in here. And I'm not suggesting John Lowey is a schoolboy. He's a rough customer, but I still think he's gotten a little bit of a raw deal in his point deductions.
Shouldn't someone in his corner in between rounds get Lawrence Cole, the referee's attention, and say, hey, look, Morales is pulling my man into him. As Morales scores with a good shot inside. A pretty good round for Erik Morales. 95 seconds remaining in the round. As far as late power is concerned, Morales has a little bit more than Lowey. Lowey has a 7th and 8th round knockout in his career. Combination from Morales. Morales has an 8th round knockout, a 10th round knockout, and 2 in the 11th.
Big left hooks by Erik Morales. His power is starting to pay dividends, but Lowey, a tough customer.
Fans come to their feet.
A lot of holding by Lowey.
They're chanting duro. In Spanish, that means hard.
Stop! You cannot push.
Now Lowey is getting cautioned for a push.
There's just about nothing that John Lowey hasn't been warned about in this bout.
Hey, he might get accused of the Kennedy assassination before this is over.
And what about Watergate? I think I saw him hovering around that hotel too.
30 seconds to go in round 7. That is not to take anything away from what Morales has done over the last 4, now 5 rounds.
Now, what he has done is settle down after a very difficult and rocky beginning. And let's face it, those cuts are bothersome. Whatever way we think they happen, they certainly aren't pleasant for Erik Morales. And you mentioned the pressure of him fighting his first defense against all these hometown fans. He wants to look perfect. This is not the kind of fight you can look perfect in. Another lecture from Lawrence Cole about something. How about hitting after the bell?
Morales back to his corner. They said that Lawrence Cole was his good luck charm. And there's John Lowey as we listen in his corner.
Move to your right. This guy is open. When you move to your right, you're going to get him with that right hand. Take it up. Suck it up. Come on. Suck it up.
Referee. Referee. Referee.
Pardon me? Okay. So is it open? Is it through? I'm not gonna touch his hand, right? You tell me it's over, it's over. Okay, so
Well, the fight is over. Fortunately, we kept it here. You heard Lawrence Cole say to the people in Lowey's corner, I'm not going to touch his hand. Something wrong with the right hand of Lowey, and Erik Morales has made the first defense of his WBC Super Bantamweight Championship a successful one.
Well, apparently, they believe John Lowey's right hand is broken, and that is the reason why he did not come out for this round. So all of the rest aside, no question Erik Morales was winning this bout, deserved to win, and this crowd delights with him in his first title defense.
Erik Morales goes to 28-0, his 22nd stoppage. As he stops John Lowey, who cannot answer the bell for round number 8 with what is apparently a bad hand. Hopefully we'll hear from someone in the Lowey camp and the Morales camp as well. It's a tough one for Erik Morales. John Lowey certainly came to win.
He really did. He made a good effort. Clearly Erik Morales a little more powerful, I think more skilled fighter. But John Lowey did land some big power shots, and I thought got some things done in this match and stylistically made problems for Morales. And this young man, John Lowey, with a hurt right hand apparently. Oh, you see him wincing as they try and take the glove off. So clearly something was wrong, but he gave a good account of himself and ran afoul of the officiating a little bit tonight, but in general gave a good effort. Boy, they hate to even take that glove off. You can tell he was wincing before. He faced better competition other than the Kennedy McKinney fight than he has been in Erik Morales. And for Erik, those cuts will be a bother for him for future fights, too. They're talking about maybe a February date against Wayne McCullough, and they'll have to see how well those cuts heal up.
Hey, credit Miguel Diaz for doing a terrific job of stopping the flow of blood throughout the course of the fight. Our ring announcer is standing by, Danny Valdivia. He has the official time.
The referee stops the contest because of a broken right hand on John Lowey. The winner by a technical knockout in the 8th round, Erik El Terrible Morales.
Erik Terrible
México. En el octavo asalto, Erik el Terrible Morales.
Erik Morales and John Lowey.
John, a game effort. What exactly got injured in your right hand?
Well, in my last fight in June in Chicago, I damaged my pinky. And in the 5th round here, I caught Morales on the top of the head. I came back to the corner, and I didn't let the corner know, which was stupid on my behalf. I should have told the corner in the 5th round that I hurt my hand, but it was after the 6th round, I let the corner know. They put me out for one more, and they seen that I just wasn't able to throw it. And with the good advice of my corner, they stopped before I got injured.
Were you ever hurt badly in the fight by Morales?
No, I wasn't hurt.
Now, you had lots of points deducted. I know that the 2 clashes of heads, which they ruled accidental, but the WBC rule says they have to take a point away from the guy who's not cut. But the one, I know you did vigorously oppose when he took a point away from you when you thought you were just bobbing and weaving.
Well, that is my tactic. Against a taller guy, you have to dodge and weave to try and get inside. But people can see that Morales is a taller fighter. He comes in with the head very low, but the smaller guy always seems to get the point deducted from them, which I'm very disappointed in.
You gave a good effort here tonight. Do you think you put yourself in the landscape of continued title contention?
Well, I hope so. That I would love a rematch with Morales. I think I was getting to him. My corner, see, I took the advice of my corner, which was right. I could have went on. I could have kept it away from my corner and told him that I was okay, but you have to let your corner know what the situation is in the fight. I caught him with a good right hand in the 5th round. I didn't let the corner know at the end of that round. It wasn't until the 6th round where I started to feel the pain. And then the advice of my corner in the 7th round was to pull me out.
Now, by the way, they said they wanted the rematch in Chicago on St. Patty's Day. I don't know that Erik Morales is going to go for that. But you ran out in the 1st round there, and you caught him. Was that by design? You thought you could catch him early?
Yes. Again, when I was asked before this fight that I know anything about Morales, I noticed in all his contests, he stays in the corner until the bell goes, then he turns, which was silly in his behalf. In professional boxing, when the bell goes, the fight starts. And I know that once the bell starts, I'm in my right mind to hit him.
Hey, congratulations on a good effort, John. That's okay. I hope your hand heals for you. All right, let's get Erik Morales in here, who defends his championship against the very game John Lowey, and had some badges of honor, if you will, from it, the 2 cuts. Can we get Erik? We're getting Erik, folks, I promise you. Erik Morales, who defended his title, his first title defense. They are still working on the cuts. Miguel Diaz, who, by the way, did a terrific job on those cuts, will serve as our interpreter. Miguel, ask him how much of a distraction it was having those cuts early in the fight.
¿Cuánto fue de distracción al haber tenido esos cortes en tus ojos? ¿Cuál fue tu distracción?
Pues,
¿Fue mucha?
No, de ninguna manera. Yo creo que los cortes de mi cabeza hacían que o presionara más o me retirara de su cabeza. Decidí presionar un poco y me lastimó otra vez.
The cats made him more pressure. He wants to put more pressure because the cat really made him upset. And then when he get more pressure, he can cut in the other eye.
This is a question for you. You had to deal with those cuts. Those were probably very difficult cuts to stop. Were you concerned you wouldn't be able to stop the bleeding?
No. It was under control all the time. No problem.
Ask him about the pressure of fighting in front of his home crowd. Did that affect him in any way?
Pelear aquí frente a tu público en Tijuana, ¿te afecta algo la presión del público, la presión de estar peleando en casa?
No, al contrario, me alienta más. Yo creo que la gente de Tijuana es muy bonita. Yo creo que es lo mejor que he tenido dentro de mi persona que me rodea.
No, the other way around. The people really motivate me, and I really love the people, and the people really make good for me.
All right, tell him congratulations, great effort, Erik Morales. All right, Erik Morales gets the job done, defends his title the very first time out in front of these adoring fans. Let's go back to another winner, Bob Papa.